So good morning and welcome to our first media briefing. First of all, I want to thank Yi-Ching for the very informative and insightful sharing of the research findings. Please remember to download the report at the end of the webinar. We will provide a link. It contains so much more information that I think we believe your readership will find very useful. In the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go through quite a bit. Who is CINNOX? Why CINNOX? What is CINNOX? And then I'm going to pass to Gary Ma, who is our Director for Product Management, to actually show you a demo. Who are we? I'm going to share a few facts with you. We are 100%, very proudly so, Asia-born. We built our platform and we operated in 3 different locations in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taipei. And Taipei is our R&D center. And we have about 150 plus employees across the different places. And over half of us are actually in R&D and also in product. That is a good testament as to how dedicated and committed we are in driving innovation in CX. And also, if you look at our name, it has some really good meaning. If you take the first letter and the last letter out of our name, it actually means customer experience. And in between is actually innovation. What we are really trying to focus on is to make sure that this is something that it is our purpose. It is in our name, and this is what we are driving. Another fact that I want to share with you as well, we are 100% self-funded and independent. What's good about it? That means it affords us the freedom and also the flexibility to actually really focus on what our customer and our partner actually needs. And that actually is a blessing. And we don't take it for granted. Obviously, we are really spending our own money, not other people's. So it is very important for us to actually stay focused. Then I'm going to talk about the big question, why? Why CINNOX? And also, why customer experience? And what is customer experience? Anyways, we have our own definition, and I'm sure you've heard many other definitions. Our definitions of customer experience is the cumulative impact of an individual's interactions with the business across the entire customer journey, from acquisition through retention. It is very important for us to actually look at it from an end-to-end perspective. What it also covers is also both the tangible and also the intangible aspects of it. It's not just about what a business actually do to the customer or with the customer or for the customer. It's also how they make the customers feel. These days, businesses really need to make that emotional connection with their customers. And that is how they actually foster trust and loyalty, as Yi-Ching also mentioned. One of the survey from Gartner saying that 2/3 of the businesses today actually compete purely on customer experience alone. Meaning that it used to be a lower price, it used to be like wider selection, it used to be like more convenient location. None of that is actually now more important than customer experience. And of a survey that they also did with 450 plus board of directors and CEOs across the world, the number one outcome that they want from the digital investment in 2022 is a significant improvement in their customer experience. Now, customer experience is really the name of the game now. And also, this is the new battleground. Then you may wonder, why? Why, given the focus from the business to be really customer obsessed, customer centric, and put in the dollar to actually make it happen? Why the other side, the customer side, they're not feeling it? Only 16% out of the 1,200 respondents from the survey actually had interactions that exceeded their expectations. And that dropped down to only 9% in Singapore, 12% in Malaysia, and tough crowd here in Hong Kong, 7%. So what we believe that exists is a major experience gap. What is that gap then? That gap is a lack of understanding of expectations, the needs, and also the preferences of the customer. So it doesn't matter what you put in. If you don't have a good understanding of these things, your CX strategist is not going to give you the benefit. We understand it is quite a daunting task to actually get the understanding of these things across so many markets. So that's why we engage with Forrester to produce this survey. There are 5 personas that Yi-Ching mentioned just now, and there's so much more details in the report, actually provide a very good starting point and a reference for a lot of the businesses to start crafting out a proper CX strategy. You need a strategy before you execute, and you need a strategy before you look at technology. And of course, technology is important. That's why we're here. The thing about the technology is that if you look at the technology stack of today's businesses, what are the main applications that they use to interface with the customers? You can think of like CRM and also help desk. Well, okay, like a few years ago, or maybe many years ago, that's no problem. I'm not saying that you have to throw them away, but like in terms of the interaction, in terms of the interactions that today's customer is expecting, 69% of them is happening online or hybrid. Unfortunately, CRM and help desk are just not built under this reality. They lack the omni-channel capabilities to cater to the hybrid digital experience today's customers actually is looking for. What we are trying to actually talk about is like you're going to keep them because they are important technologies within your stack. What you need is another layer that sits on top that can help you manage all the customer experience interactions across all the different channels that you need to open, to cater to the customer's needs. This is what CINNOX is about. We are a secure cloud-based total experience platform. There are some keywords that I want to elaborate further. First is secure. Security is paramount. We are dealing with customer data here. So I'm pleased to let you know that we are ISO 9001, 20000, and 20001 certified. And all our customer data is encrypted at rest and also in transit. And being cloud-based is also important, and it has a lot of benefits because we are scalable. We can scale as our customers scale. And say, for example, right now, we are not yet in Australia, but it will be very feasible for us to expand into Australia as a cloud-based service and start servicing, the Australian businesses. And also cloud-based means that there's very quick time to value. There's no installation required. There's no minimal implementation in terms of configuration, and you don't have to maintain the platform yourself. So all these are the good benefits in terms of being cloud-based. And of course, total experience. Are we trying to be interesting, to actually call something differently? Well, I think, this is something that it's very different, from our position. We call it total experience because it's not just about the customer experience. It is the customer experience plus the employee experience. So think about this. Who are the people actually delivering the customer experience? It will be the employees. So if you're not first delivering good employee experience, it is impossible to actually deliver good customer experience. So the top 3 expectations, from the customer out of the survey. The first one is first-time resolution, quick response time, and then also being able to talk to knowledgeable staff, right? How would it be possible if you don't actually deliver good employee experience? So we put a lot of thought into really making the employees and agent productive. Because I'm not sure if you know, an agent actually, on average, they need to flip back and forth 7 to 8 applications in order to really attend to a customer's inquiry. We want to eliminate that. We want to provide them one single consolidated platform, one single pane of glass that they can manage all the different interactions coming from both the telephony as well as the digital channels, and to make sure that they have the context of the customers so that they will be knowledgeable, so that they can actually provide that first-time resolution to the customers. And also from a platform perspective, right? We are trying to also make it easier for our customer to apply the CX strategy, to help them visualize, how that workflow is going to work. So this is why we actually divide our platform into 3 different pillars: the connect, the orchestrate, and the evaluate. Each pillar actually takes care of one component of the workflow. So this is something that Gary will elaborate further, but I'm just going to share with you that connect, what connect does is to unify all the touch points. Remember, today's customer experience is hybrid. So you need to be able to have a way to unify all the different touch points, be it they're coming from telephony kind of network or the digital network. And then orchestrate is where the intelligence is, right? So you wanted to actually make sure your customer is reaching the right knowledgeable staff. And this is where also how you can build in the AI and the human touch, right? So you can leverage AI in a smart way to actually help you identify the intent, and to then also intelligently route, the request to the right agent. And also you can use the AI to take care of some, low value repetitive tasks, so that you can free the agents to actually do more delicate and complex tasks to provide that human touch that the customer is really looking for. And the evaluate part is really where we are putting a lot of investment in. Of course, as Yi-Ching mentioned, it's not just quantitative, it's quantitative and qualitative. The quantitative part will give you a lot of operational efficiency data to understand the performance, of the agent. But the qualitative part is really about the effectiveness and the emotions, of how well you're doing in terms of your CX. So this is where, we're going into in terms of conversational AI. We are doing a lot more research and study into building it into our platform, so that we have that insight that can be fed back into the workflow to further improve your connect and orchestrate. I think I'm pretty much running out of time, so I'm going to wrap up with the last slide. Humanizing connection for better business is our vision. To deliver good customer experience, you need a good strategy, and you also need good technology. And it has to cover the entire customer journey, from marketing and sales to customer service to customer support, and hopefully back, because you want to resell it back to the same customer. Covering all these functional teams and make sure that they are aligned is very important in order to make a CX strategy successful.